Hey everyone, Dr. Miles Dixon. Today I'm coming to you from my F-250 pickup, and my wife says I bought this big pickup to haul my big ego around. Ha ha ha, right? But the truth is I bought this truck for safety, which leads me to what I'd like to talk to you about today, which is whiplash. Whiplash is a devastating injury. And the reason is, well, there's several reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is the research studies, along with my clinical experience, show that these injuries are chronic 56% of the time. Now, what does that mean? It means that when people get rear-ended and they sustain a whiplash injury, that 56% of the time that they still have pain 6 months, a year after the injury, right? From six months on, they're still having pain, right? That's what chronic means. And so, with that being said, I'd like to share with you a few things that you can do that you need to be aware of to help minimize some of these injuries if in fact you are rear-ended, okay? The first thing is make sure that if you see somebody approaching you and you think you're going to get rear-ended, make sure that your head is looking straight ahead, okay? Avoid the temptation, and it's not easy, but avoid the temptation to turn your head and neck and watch it in the rearview mirror. A turned or rotated head will sustain a more significant injury than if you're looking straight ahead, okay? Easier said than done, but try it. The second thing is, and this is really easy to fix, make sure that your headrest height is appropriate. Watch this. When you're rear-ended, your body literally is elevated. And as it's elevated and you're accelerated forward, your neck gets leveraged over the top of the headrest if it's too low. If you have the headrest set towards the top half of your head, your head is going to sustain and hold your neck in place and minimize the whiplash. So that's a really simple thing that you can go ahead and do right now, is adjust that headrest height to minimize the injury. Now, I brought kind of a friend of mine with me, Mr. Bowling Ball here, okay? And I'd like to show you and demonstrate what happens when we quickly accelerate, which this in no way will mimic what really happens in a car crash, right? A whiplash injury happens in less than a second, okay? And so I'll do the best I can to demonstrate here, but I'm just gonna quickly accelerate, and you watch what happens to this bowling ball. You watch how hard it is for my hand to hold this bowling ball still. So here we go. Ready? Hang on. Okay. And now I'm gonna stop. Okay. Now we're on slippery roads here. It's snowing in South Dakota right now. But anyways, you could see what happened there. It was really hard to hold that bowling ball still, which is what happens with your head. Your head weighs 10 to 12 pounds. It's heavy. Our necks are not strong enough to be able to hold that head still. It gets whipped back and forth substantially. It is so incredible how much movement happens in the neck. People don't believe it. People think that the car crash that they were in was minimal. We'll actually have them sit down and watch a video of a 6-mile-an-hour crash and a 12-mile-an-hour crash. In those minimal crashes, you can't believe at how much movement there is in the head and neck. And so that's how these injuries happen. Dr. Miles Dixon coming to you from Dixon Family Chiro today, bringing quality back to your life.